Okay, so what we are going to do now is set up the IK bounds. Now, the IK setup is going to be very similar to how we set up the leg IK bounds. So here what I want you to do is first make sure that this is on a local, and over here we're just going to do this median point, and of course make sure that this is on pose mode. Now go ahead and switch to the data tab and just turn on the IK bound layer. Do shift middle mouse button and just bring this into view over here. Okay, I'm going to do control middle mouse button just to zoom out a bit. Now over here what you want to do is press the shift key down and turn on the non-deform layer. Go ahead and click on this bound and go switch to the bound constraints tab. Now here we're going to click on this bound, press the shift key down, click on this one, do shift control C, and here we're going to do copy transforms, right? So this is the same thing that we did with the legs. So over here we're just going to type in IK and enter. Again, this is just a name. It doesn't mean anything, right? We can call it whatever we want. So go ahead and click on this, press the shift key down, click on this, do shift control C, do copy transforms. Here we're just going to call this IK and enter. Click on this, press the shift key down, click on this one, do shift control C, and over here do copy transforms and call this IK and enter. Now here go ahead and switch to edit mode, and what we have to do is tell this bone to be the child of this bone, right? So go ahead and click on this bone, go ahead and zoom in, do shift middle mouse button, press the shift key down and click on this bone, do control P and just do keep offset. Now go ahead and zoom out, do shift middle mouse button to bring this into view, click on these bones over here, press the control key down, click on this blue arrow and just put them back into place. Okay, now go ahead and switch this to pose mode. Now here we're going to go to the data tab over here, and of course just turn on the IK bone layer. Now here just click on these bones and press the R key just to test out that everything is working as it should. Okay, and it does. Now we're going to set up the IK system basically on the forearm bone. So this means that we're going to make the hand bone the outside bone, right? The target bone. So here, having this bone selected, go ahead and switch to edit mode, go to the bone tab, and of course we're going to remove the parent, which is the forearm right now, and here we're just going to say that this bone's parent is going to be the root bone, right? So this is now an outside bone that can be used with the inverse kinematic system. So go ahead and switch to pose mode, and here what you want to do is click on this bone, press the shift key down, click on this one, just do shift control C, and here we're going to do inverse kinematics. Go ahead and click this and go to the constraints. So here you can see that everything's been filled in for us. Now here of course on the chain length, when we do 1 we're talking about this bound, and when we do 2 we're bringing in this bound. So now when you click over here and press the G key, you will see that the IK system is starting to work. Now of course it's not going to work out of the box, so you still have to click over here, and in this case we have to go to the bone tab, and again here we're going to say that we only want this bone to rotate around the x-axis, so go ahead and lock the Y and Z. So now when you click over here and press the G key, you will see that it starts to work, right? So now you can put this anywhere that you want or look at it from a different angle, and of course here you can see that we would have to press the R key 2 times, right, to start to pose this hand, or you can press the R key 1 time, whatever you want to do. But that's how this system is going to work, right? So the bones that we're going to be adding on the fingers and the palm are all going to be part of the FK system. Only these 3 bones over here are part of the IK system. Okay, so go ahead and press the A key to select everything. Now notice that when we add the IK system, now we have to do Alt R to reset the rotation and do Alt G. Okay, now press the 1 key to go to the front view. Now here go ahead and click on this bone, and what we're going to do is go to the constraints, and of course what we need is a pole target. Okay, now this is going to get a little tricky to set up. Okay, so what we have to do is first switch this to edit mode and click over here on this join and just press the E key and press the Z key to bring out a bone. You can make it as big as you want, doesn't really matter. Click over here and press the Y key to sever the connection. Go to the bone tab and of course turn this off. And here, just like the knee pole target that we had created, here we're going to call this M dot elbow dot touch dot ik dot l and enter. Okay, that's what I'm going to call it. Okay, so what we want to do now is of course press the 3 key. Now here I'm going to just click on this green arrow and just move this right about here, right? That should be a good distance to point the elbow. That's fine. Now here, go ahead, hover your mouse, do Control C to copy this. And of course, you're going to switch to pose mode. And over here, when we click this, go to the constraints, go ahead and switch armature, do Control V. Of course, now we have to change this pole angle to make sure that it points correctly. Okay, so now what I want you to do is just click this and make sure that it points in some way. Okay, so what we need to do is now make sure that this is aligned correctly with the original position. So the way we're going to do this, now this can get a bit tricky to do. So what you want to do is first go to the data tab, and let's go ahead and first switch this to the non-deform bones over here. Okay, now what we need to do is actually tell these non-deform bones to not follow the IK bones, because we need to separate that concept. So here what I'm going to do is actually click this and just turn this off for a second. Okay, let's just turn everything off over here so they don't get in our way. Now go ahead and go to the constraints. Now go ahead and press the shift key down and turn this back on. So now you'll see that we can start to see the overlap. Okay, now go ahead and click on the m.forearm.ik.l, go to the constraints, and here all you want to do is click this, and here what you're going to do is basically align this. Okay, I'm going to zoom in a bit. This is actually very easy to do once you get it all set up. And here I'm just going to press the shift key down and just kind of align it just like this over here. You can of course zoom in as close as you want if you just want to get it as perfect as possible. So this is good, right? It's aligned because we're zoomed in really close. So that works. Okay, so now what we're going to do is go ahead and go to the data tab and go back to these bones, to the middle mouse button, and let's turn everything back on to the way it was. Okay, go ahead and click this, turn this back on, click over here and turn this back on. Now I'm just going to go to the data tab and click over here. Okay, so now when you press the 3 key and click over here, you can see that we can point at the elbow. Okay, so this means that now you can click over here, and then let's say if you want to point at the elbow, you can point it anywhere that you want. So go ahead and press the A key, do Alt R and G. Now the question is, who should be the parent of this bone? Okay, now remember when we were dealing with the leg, we had made the knee pole target the child of the foot. So here I'm just going to press the shift key down and turn this on, turn off the bone shapes to show you that what we had done. Remember, this is our knee pole target and we had made it the child. Over here, if you go to the bone tab, the foot.touch.ik.l, right, which was this bone over here. That was the idea. Now, when we're dealing with the elbow pole target, we can't actually do that. What we have to do is make this the child of our shoulder socket bone. This is what's going to give us the ability to make this operate correctly. Okay, so what we want to do is go ahead and go to the data tab, press the shift key down, and just turn on the non-deform layer. So what we want to do is go ahead and switch to edit mode, click on this bone, go ahead and zoom in, press the shift key down, and click on the m.shoulder.socket.l. Just do Control P and do keep offset. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and switch to pose mode. Now you'll see why we did this. Okay, so here, let's say over here, we're just going to go to the IK bone layer, click on the hand and press the G key. Let's say we rotate it this way. I'm just going to press the R key to, let's say, rotate the hand this way or something by posing it. I'm going to press the shape key down and turn on the touch bone layer and turn the shapes on. Now you will see that if we go ahead and press the 3 key and click over here on this bone and press the R key, see how this rotates? When the chest rotates, the pole goes with it, allows the elbow to always stay pointed correctly. This is why we have to do it this way. Okay. Anyways, that's how this whole concept works. I'm just going to press the A key to select everything, do Alt R and G to reset everything over here. Now here what we're going to do is go ahead and click on this bone over here, and let's go ahead and click on the hand.touch.fk.l and go ahead and press the M key, and here we're going to throw these bones on the touch layer over here. Okay, now what I want you to do is go ahead and let's go under File, do Save As, and here we're going to save this as rigging lesson 04 m.blend. Okay, so what we're going to do now is add the bone shapes for these two IK touch bones. So go ahead and click on this elbow bone over here. Now here we should add the word pole because we did this on the knee pole target. So here I'm actually going to click here and just type in pole.ik.l. Okay, it's just a naming convention that we want to stick to. Go ahead and press the 3 key to go to your right view, do shift middle mouse button to bring this into focus. Now, of course, we're going to go ahead and do shift S and do cursor to selected. Now here we want to add an empty, so we know we have to switch to object mode and do shift A so we can get to this menu. And here I'm just going to add a sphere, and of course you can zoom out. You want to press the S key to scale this in quite a bit. Go ahead and zoom in. Now here what we want to do is click over here on this bone, go ahead and switch to pose mode, and here I'm just going to hover the mouse and do Control C to copy this. It's quite big. I'm going to click over here, click inside, type in W dot, do Control V, and just remove this M from here and enter. Now do Control C to copy this name, go ahead and go to this bone, go to the bone tab and just do Control V. And of course here you can click on this empty and press the S key to scale this down a bit. Now over here, if we want to scale the bone shape, we know that we have to go to this tab, press the shift key down and just decrease the size. So I'm going to make it, let's say, right around here, right? Not too small, just easy to click on. Okay, so now let's go ahead and move this. So we're going to press the M key, throw this on this last layer over here, right? Now let's go ahead and click this and just press the M key to make sure that this is on the correct layer, and it is. Now let's take a look at this bone over here. You can of course click this and press the period key to home in on this area. Now here what we want to do is create a shape that will allow us to select the hand.touch.ik.l. You actually have two choices. You can simply keep this shape over here or create another shape. So what I'm going to do is basically use this shape and make it, let's say, a bit smaller. Okay, so here what you want to do is go ahead and just switch to this layer over here, click this, do shift D to duplicate, right click to cancel, and here I'm going to press the tab key to go into edit mode and actually just press the S key to scale this in. This is going to be for our IK. Now press the tab key to go into object mode. And over here, I'm just going to change this to ik.l and enter. Just hover the mouse and do Control C. Now go ahead and just switch back to this layer over here. Click on this bone, go to the bone tab and just do Control V. Okay, and that's it. It's that easy, right? But you can decide whatever shape you want. So this is going to be for our FK and this is going to be for our IK. Okay, so that's settled, and I'm going to press the M key just to make sure that, yep, this is on the correct layer over here. Okay, so now if you go to the data tab and just turn on the touch bone layers, you will see that we have all these bones set up over here. Okay, now go ahead and press the shift key down and turn on the IK bones over here. So what I want you to do is just go under File and just do Save on this. Okay, so let's go ahead and set up the stretch bone that will draw a line to this elbow pull target. So go ahead and press the 7 key to go to your top view and go ahead and switch this to edit mode. Click on this joint, press the E key, press the Y key, and just stretch out a bone like this. Go ahead and click this, press the Y key to sever the connections. Go to the bone tab and remove the deform. And of course, we're just going to call this M dot elbow dot line dot ik dot l and enter. Now the parent for this bone, really it can be either the forearm IK bone or the arm IK bone, because we're going to be using to stretch to constrain, so it doesn't really matter. Here I'm just going to click on this bone, press the shift key down, and over here make sure that I'm selecting the m.arm.ik.l. Now if you're getting confused by this, you can of course just click over here and press the shift key down and turn off this layer, so you only have the IK bones layer selected. So here that's what I'm doing. Okay, I clicked on this one, press the shift key down, click on this one, do Control P and just do keep offset. Okay, now go ahead and switch this to pose mode. Of course we have to press the shift key down and turn this layer back on, so we can go ahead and click on this bone, press the shift key down, click on this one, do shift Control C, and here we're going to do a stretch 2, right? So if you click over here and press the G key, you will see that the bone will start to stretch over here. Okay, so let's go ahead under File and do Save, and I'll see you in the next lesson. Thank you.